Mm-hmm. Not very different from tonight. I'll tell you the truth about that. No. He went for 3 days. I was expecting he would come back tomorrow actually, but he had a flat tire, so he had to ACR back to Bucharest due to it. Because I was planning on taking the dog back tomorrow, and there was no conflict of scheduling. But yeah. Yes, I've read his message 3 minutes ago. Of 3 minutes ago. Yes, I will in 1 minute. 1 second actually.
Yeah. Did you carry that practice?
Merci. Merci. Question, Virgil. How are you? How is your wife feeling? Any news? Question, Virgil. How is your wife feeling? Any news? Question, Virgil. How is your wife feeling? Any news? Nor can you, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no space between wave 1 and 2 in our case. And it's they blended in together. Yeah, they're making a shit show of the school system as well in Romania. Yeah, it's antiqued. it's antique. Well, I'm not 100% certain of how they do stuff right now, but when I was in school and when Lachlan was in school, there was no difference between what my parents did in school and what I did in school about 40 years later.
Found yourself back on the town map. For obvious purposes here, I would say that Blinsky probably took us a significant amount of time. Since you spent like the entire session in there talking to him and investigating, should have taken you a couple of hours inside that store.
Okay, as soon as we get outside, I tell the others, please wait 5 minutes, I forgot something inside, and I go back in.
Do you guys wait for him, or do you just like prank him and run the fuck away?
I wait for him.
Wait. Like, discuss how much time we spent here.
Okay. Read what I wrote to you. Nothing extensive.
I think it was around noon when we got here, so it should
Yes.
be like 4 p.m. or something like that.
I would probably say like closer towards 3 p.m. I suppose.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure of the times, but you did spend such a long time within the toy store itself that I would say that probably was a 2-hour visit and a rather hefty shopping trip with a lot of questions.
I think we should still have time to visit the orphanage.
No, we don't visit it today. Remember what the guard said.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Maybe we can visit the stockyards.
I mean, technically, the guard said that it was under investigation. Nothing stopping you from going to the orphanage. Except there might be guards.
Maybe we can help them.
Okay, so we're going towards the stockyards. Right, guys?
Unless you want to go investigate the murder of orphan or something like that.
No,
or
I don't.
disappearing.
I don't.
Let's say it like this. In Worms, he proved that he gave a damn about the orphans.
Yeah.
I didn't kill the orphan as much as, let's say, somebody named Lucian. Yeah. I was more focused on killing myself.
Are we turning into Anakin Skywalker over here?
On Worms, some people were.
Are you out of the shop now?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we waiting for Virgil here in front of Blinky's store?
Already
Oh,
am
he's
out.
out.
Oh, okay.
So what do you guys say we go down and check these outside skirts of these buildings and then move toward the stockyards?
Actually, I have one last question for Blinky, if I may go back inside.
Yes.
Dear Mr. Blinky, tell
Do
me.
you go in alone or do you take someone with you?
I don't mind if I go alone or with someone else. Like, it's not secret or anything.
Okay. Fuck it, I'm not gonna go into it separate. Oh, do we? Yeah.
It's
no,
just
just
I
pretend
just
the door
want
is
to
open.
ask one question. It's not a secret or something. It's just I forgot about it last time.
Okay, then ask the question.
I am showing the wooden carving of a woman that I have in with a loom to Blinky and ask him if he ever seen this wood carving and what can he tell me about it.
Do you mean this carving?
Yes,
Or the carving of this woman?
the wooden carving of the woman with a loom.
Yes, I have seen many women with looms. Most women in Valaki tends to be doing some form of repair on the clothing.
Oh, so it is not a distinct wood carving. It's pretty common.
It's fairly common, yes. Unless you start believing in like meat and stuff and legends.
I see. Thank you for your help, Master Blinky.
Blinky.
Okay. Last time you said that only me and Zuriel could move the token or something like that because of some of the rolls. Is that still in effect?
Two people could not move it. I believe one of them was Rardar because he rolled shit. I do not remember which the other one was.
I will.
I remember.
I'm pointing at Menace.
I'm not touching it. I'm just leaving you guys do it. I don't mind.
Oh, well, I'll do it. No worries. Do you guys want to head down to the Brotto house here?
I would, yeah, Rotor Stockyards.
No, we
They're
can head to
similar. I mean,
Yeah, we
Booze
can-
always-
We can just pass by the building and have a look. Okay.
Is that the right one or the left one?
We're just gonna pass by the road and like stop here and take a look.
in
Okay.
that small intersection.
Like the small square or something like that. I don't know. How
You get the sense that the entry into this particular part is not, for a lack of a better word, this house is walled off. The entrance to there is through here. However, it is not linked to this one. There is a separate link between those two mansions. You get the estate that each of these estates in this area is kind of like walled off and private. So there is no way for you to go here and then go up or left. That functionality does not exist. As you're standing there, the building immediately west of you or left on the map will have guards there.
on the left of the map, you mean here?
Do you want me to show you on a map? I suppose.
Yeah, sure. If you have a map.
I do have a map.
We like show and tell.
I just need to find the player tokens. Where are you, motherfuckers?
You will probably have to put them anyway at some point.
Not if you don't actually go here.
In the Brotto? We don't go to the Brotto? Yeah.
This here
Like
is
that's-
how do you call the Burgomaster, right?
Yeah, this is the house of the Burgomaster and this is the Brotto. His private Brotto.
It's not his private. Others have access to it, I'm guessing.
If you are rich enough, I guess.
Of course.
Can you see in the new map?
We're on the bottom right for everybody to know.
I'm trying to go to the bottom right. Yes.
This is the brown building? Uniform?
This would be the one immediately next to the road. Yes, the smaller of the two.
See? I poke Maris and say, go ask the guards what this is.
Actually, the moment Benjamin starts stepping foot into what can best be described the lawn area, there is a very stern voice shouting out from this guy saying, "Oh, you, no loitering." So yeah, you also notice that he has what is it called when you're lowering a weapon? He's holding a pike, and he has now, instead of like standing upright with the pike resting like a staff, he's now lowered the pike.
Defensive position or a offensive one?
It doesn't seem to be a peaceful position.
This is the road we were following, right? So
Yes.
we have the courtesy of just moving along, right?
Yes.
And what does loitering mean?
Sitting around.
Sitting around, trespassing, stuff like that.
Okay,
Throwing
just
stuff on the ground.
No, trespassing is trespassing. Loitering is just sitting around.
And
like,
throwing stuff on the ground.
doing nothing, just sitting there.
Like
Yes.
exactly, you know, like how you're allowed to go
Yeah.
in front of a like military unit, but you're not allowed to stop in front of it.
Yeah. I take a good look at the building while we pass.
As you're getting there, Radar kind of whispers faintly, "We can take them. There's just two."
Do you know what's the punishment for murder of a guard? We're all gonna be dead by evening.
I yell to the guy, "Excuse me, sir. Who is this lives in this beautiful building?"
Your mother!
She's dead. Is this a cemetery? Can I go visit her?
Will be a cemetery if you step one step closer without an invitation, sir.
Invitation from who?
Father,
He's there as well. Can I visit him too?
you can fairly come closer if you want. You see the top guy? That doesn't seem to be as, like, unserious, starts to lean for something with his left hand. Seems to be reaching for something slung over his side.
I yell to him, "You're funny. We should meet again sometime." And I move along.
Grabs a horn.
I yell at Assam. Come on, don't bother the guards. Excuse him, sirs. Can we see anything through the windows?
Make a
Just-
perception check. I suppose. In terms of seeing something, nah, it's not that easy to do. So even stuff you can see through lighting on the map isn't something you would realistically see at walking past. Lucian, you're fairly sure that you hear fucking tourists being muffled like lowly from one of the guys. Not sure who, but you're fairly sure it was fucking tourists.
Okay, I guess we can leave them up now. Definitely interesting building.
With the perception check as well, you would have noticed that the quality and gear of those two guardsmen was probably a bit better than the other guards you've encountered.
So they're like
Royal Guards.
elite forces.
Or better ones.
or private retinue.
So we just follow the road, down the road,
Okay.
looking around the buildings.
So let me just make myself understand. This is not a square. This is like a cul-de-sac of these three like expensive buildings, right?
This little bend, you mean?
Yeah.
Think of it more of like the driveway for wagons and stuff.
Ah, okay.
Think of it like that. I mean, you just the part of the map you saw is like this area. This is more of like there is a gate there that leads in for like shipments and stuff if necessary. You get the sense that perhaps if something is being of like a sensitive value, then it's driven in there and then it just like they turn out and drive back out again. It's like a turning area for.
Makes sense. Rich mention. Do we notice anything interesting while we walk down the street?
I mean, you're starting to pass a few buildings. Some of them seems to be homes. Some of them seems to be like businesses or something like that.
Is it a rich neighborhood here as well?
This one is a bit middleish. It seems to be comfortable in terms of value and stuff. I'm not sure what you're looking after, so if you could give me a clarification if there's like saying we're looking for something interesting. I could tell you about like the cats fucking in one of the alleys, or I could tell you about like the color of one of the dogs resting on the porch. I mean, there's a lot of things I could say, but is there anything in particular you're looking after?
Yeah, we saw that these buildings here, like rich people,
Yes,
like good buildings. Are these better or just worse?
they would be worse, but not poor. Every building in this area is significantly better than what you saw, for instance, in Barovia.
And everything in this area here it's residential. There's no.
No, there are businesses and enterprises and stores. I mean, you just passed like a store with like fabrics or something. You're not entirely sure what that was.
Did we pass the store of the herbalist? What was his name?
No,
I think his store was the stockyards.
you haven't heard the. You haven't seen any names or something. You said something called clothiers or something like that, but other than like a clothing shop, that was it.
So there is a clothing shop around this area. I think one of the guards we asked about directions said that the shop of the potion shop was just
Toward the northern end, he would have said.
B. Okay, we reach this kind of a square thingy.
For
What does it look like?
for the record, here is where you would have seen a cloth shop.
Nice.
But it's like looking out from outside on the inside. How to best describe it? Um, looks like a fairly solid building, mostly out of brick, not wood. You can see like through the windows, you can see some stands with different types of clothing. Like more like fancier outfits to like more sturdier type of outfits for different types of weather and stuff. It seems to be a place you would want to go if you needed specific clothes tailor made for you, or you have specific clothing needs. It looks like the standard of it looks fairly, wouldn't necessarily say high end, but they